What's going on, guys? This is Yacineygo, and today we're going to be going over the DDD deck post Doom of Dimensions. It's a pretty interesting deck that I think is very underexplored, and the reason for that is because nobody really cares about like the new cards from Doom of Dimensions other than Marshmallow and Noroi, because the currently existing decks from Justice Hunters are so incredibly good that you don't really have to waste your time with anything new unless like the deck is insanely good. And I'm gonna be honest and say that DDD is not on the same level as Justice Hunters decks, because, you know, like, those decks are unfair, and DDD does have some very exploitable weaknesses, such as Molchimi-Foros, and sometimes Troll and Logbird. It does depend, because sometimes it's not like the end of the world. You can place like cards from your deck in your spell and trap zone, and that's a pretty cool way of, you know, beating the hand trap. But I mean, this is still a deck that can catch people off guard, and I think it's a deck that is going to age very well. It's a good long-term investment for you, and like I said, it's a deck where you can outplay your opponent, and that's always good for very skillful players. So if you're interested in the deck, then I believe that there's still incentive in looking into it, and that's the reason why I'm making this deck profile, as well as I will be showcasing 3 combos right after going through the deck list. So make sure you watch all the way until the end. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Alright, so for the deck list, I am maxing out on consistency for the most part and trying to like not play too many bricks or too many like funky ratios. So I'm playing 3 DDD 0 Demise King 0 Machinex. Very confusing name. There's 2 zeros in it. And yeah, this card is really broken. It has like 2 insanely good effects. I mean, it has 3 effects in total, I believe. So in the scale, it's a 1-card starter because you can place a Dark Contract continuous spell from your deck, or spell or trap actually, face up, like on your field from your deck. So you can even place the Dark Contract with Eternal Darkness, which low-key actually allows you to be a board breaker against Yami going second, because now your opponent's monsters, if you have like 2 DD cards in your pendulum zones, those monsters cannot be used as like synchro materials. So you can actually shut down like a few things with this card. It's actually a very terrifying card. Or you can place Dark Contract with the Gate and then search your Kepler, and then Kepler can search the Dark Contract with the Zero King, and then you can full combo. So there's no difference between drawing like Machinex or Kepler if you're going first uninterrupted. So it's a great card overall, and then also it has some other effects. So if it dies on the field, then you can place it in the Pendulum Scale. Also, if it's in your extra deck, if one of your DDD monsters like dies, or DD cards or Dark Contract card dies by card effect or battle, you can revive it back from the extra deck, and then you can destroy a card on the field, and it doesn't target. So it's a great board breaker going second, but it's also like an extender going first. It just does everything you can ask for, and it's a skill 0, so it allows you to pendulum summon Kepler. Everything about this card is insane, so it's obviously a must 3 of, and then we're obviously playing 3 Kepler. This card is like the Stratos of the deck. It searches Dark Contract with a Gate that searches any monsters, or it searches like your Dark Contract with a Zero King or Eternal Darkness. So in other words, it searches literally every single card in your deck. Kepler is the GOAT. We're also playing 3 Dark Contract with a Gate, so we're basically playing like 9 1-card starters, but there's also like a lot of 2-card combinations that work. And there's also Nightmare Throne, so technically we're looking at 10 like real 1-card starters. I guess you can kind of say DD Count Surveyor is very close to being a 1-card combo, because by itself, if you have like 4 other like fake cards, it does nothing. But if you have any other DD monster with this, you can discard it and then special summon the DD Count Surveyor, and then that searches Kepler, and then you can full combo from there. So Surveyor is pretty nice, and the Pendulum Scale effect is kind of cute if you're going second. You can like tribute 2 monsters your opponent controls, but it's a little like situational, so it's you can't really rely on it too much. And then DD Griffin, you should probably already know what this card does, but if you control a DD monster, you can summon it from the hand in defense. If it's pendulum summon, then you can like discard a DD or Dark Contract card, I believe, from your hand to the graveyard to discard a card. And if it's special summon from the grave, you can add a DD card from your deck to your hand. So you can't search Dark Contract with the Eternal Darkness because it's not a DD card, but you can search DDD Headhunt. So that's why we side deck it, just so that this can search like another Floodgate, and I'm sorry, another Interruption, and it does come up in like the combos post game 1. But I'm not trying to main deck like 2 trap cards, just because I don't want to make like the going second too bad. I want to have as many live cards as possible. And then DD Skill Surveyor is actually quite similar to DD Griffin. So also if you control a DD Pendulum monster card, it can even be a scale. You can special summon it from the hand, and then if it's normal or special, you can make its level 4. And then it's relevant because you can make the Wisdom King Solomon, and that card can search like a DD card from your deck to your hand. So it's a fantastic extender. So we're playing 9 extenders, 9 starters, and then we're playing the Unfortunate Bricks and the Engine requirements. So 1 Copernicus, which is a Foolish Burial, the Land Soldier, which is a better Lamia because it summons itself back by pitching like a Dark Contract from your field to the graveyard, and then it becomes level 4 if you have like, I believe, like 2 Dark Contracts like in your field or grave, like it gains 1 level. It can make other DD monsters gain levels as well, but you're pretty much always going to be using like the gain effect on like on itself, just so that you can make Solomon easier. So it's a great card. It's way better than Lamia. And then Necro Slime, this card is it's really nice at making the 2 Genghis monsters, 1 Ragnarok, which is broken, of course, and then the Orthros. Orthros is kind of like a board breaker going second. You can destroy like other spells and traps on the field, but usually when you're going first, the goal is to like destroy your own cards, which looks very stupid on paper, but this is how the deck works, because then you can start triggering like your 0 Demise King, 0 Machinex from the extra deck, and then you can keep playing. And then also like you can make your skills better, and then you can get this in your extra deck so that you can Benjamin summon it. And this is a Fiend level 4 tuner, so you can make Siegfried with it, which is quite cool. And then Dark Contract with the Zero King. There's a world in which you can play 3 copies of it, because it's a semi-starter, but it doesn't really do anything on its own. It's not like Dark Contract with a Gate. And then obviously Dark Contract with the Eternal Darkness. This is a nasty Floodgate against Yummy, and it's also still good against a lot of other decks. And then 1 Nightmare Throne that can search either Kepler or Copernicus. For the non-engine, we're playing 14, but you can also just cut Nightmare Throne and play 15. So Cobble the Grave Talent, 3 Fua, 3 Ash, 3 Imperm, and Dominus Impulse. There are no cards in the entire deck other than Fua that conflict with Impulse. Like, your extra deck only has Dark, Fire, and Water monsters, and your main deck only has Dark monsters. How convenient. And for the extra deck, I'm going to go very quickly. So I've organized it in a way where everything should be very clear. So Siegfried, Clovis, Genghis, Machinex, Caesar, King Tell, and then the baby Caesar, Solomon, Zeus King Ragnarok, sorry, Sky King Zeus Ragnarok, and the 2 Gilgamesh. All these 11 cards are needed in the combo. There is no way you can play this deck without these 11 cards. So you should always have them in your extra deck, regardless of how you're trying to play the deck. There's no other way about it. However, these 4 cards right here, the Great Dimension King Arc Crisis, the Flame High King Genghis, the DDD Duo Don King Kali Yuga, and the second Machinex, these cards, you're not going through them in your standard going first combo. They're like flex spots or cards that allow your going second or follow-up play to be much better, but these should still be played. So King Arc Crisis is very similar to like Vicious Astrolaud. It's a card that you can summon just by banishing the materials from your graveyard, and you're not going through it going first, like I said. It's your follow-up play when your opponent kind of breaks your board, and then you can go, okay, summon this, and then negate everything on your field, and it attacks everything. And if you're banishing Clover, then your monster, like, it can deal piercing damage. If you're banishing Solomon, then your monster, every time it dies, destroys a monster by battle, you're inflicting damage to your opponent equal to that monster's original attack. So in other words, if you're attacking 2 attack position monsters, you kill your opponent, because it's going to be 4,000 damage, like, multiplied by 2 in total. And I think there might be, like, another effect, but I'm not sure. Maybe this. I forgot. Yeah, you can banish it in the grave. No, actually, hold on a second. Yeah, I'm not reading it right. But yeah, it's a great card. And then the High King Genghis, it can negate, like, spells and traps on your own turn. So you can negate, like, Dominus Impulse and Imperm on your own turn. So that's actually kind of cool. DDD Duo on King Kali Yuga is, like, a Heavy Storm, as well as kind of like a Raid Raptor Ultimate Falcon when it's summoned. Like, everything else on the field is going to be negated. So it's actually kind of scary. When you summon this card on, like, turn 3, this is where you know for a fact that you've won. And the second Machinex is just to, like, ensure that you always have, like, a scary monster to, like, sit on, so that you're pretty much winning the grind game every single time. For the side deck, a lot of it is very flexible, but I think the side deck overall is pretty nice. So 3 Droll and Logbird for Mitsurugi and Moonlight, 3 Nibiru for Yummy, as well as, like, some other rogue decks, and 3 Ghost Bell for Dragon Tail. This could easily be something else, but it wouldn't be Retelling Sea, because you would not be able to out your own Retelling Sea, so you'd be under your own shifter, which defeats the purpose. And you already have Dominus Impulse, so I couldn't really think of anything else. I think Ghost Bell would probably be would probably be like one of the better cards that you can play. And then for the going first card, we have DDD Headhunt that you can search off of the Griffin when you already have everything else. The Black Gold Lavs, Dimensional Bearer, and 3 copies of Triple Tactic Thrust. You can also thrust into DDD Headhunt, and that is quite respectable. That's pretty much it for the deck list, and now let's get into the combos. Okay, so combo number 1, all we have is Kepler and nothing else. So normal summon, and then we're going to be searching with Dark Construct for Dark Construct with the Gate, and then that is going to be searching for the Zero King Demise 0 Machinex, which places the Dark Contract with the Zero King, and then destroy that, summon your Copernicus. Copernicus is going to be sending Land Soldier. Land Soldier, destroy the Dark Contract with a Gate. It's better to send like a 3 of than send a 1 of, because on the follow-up play, you can always search another Dark Contract with a Gate, whereas if you only play 1 Zero King, you can't search it again. And like I said, if you have like 2 Dark Contracts either in your field and your graveyard in total, you can increase the level of like one of your monsters by 2, so it can become level 4. And then since you got 2 level 4 monsters, you can make the Solomon, and you can detach material to search any DD card from your deck to your hand. So you're going to be searching for the DD Griffin, and then overlay the Solomon for a Marksman Kingtail. This card, whenever it's sent to the graveyard from field to grave, it sends any DD or Dark Contract card from deck to grave. So this is how we can get the Necro Slime in rotation. And then, yeah, link off for Gilgamesh, go Chainlink 1, Chainlink 2. Even if you get Impermed on Gilgamesh here, you can still make 2 disruptions. 3 disruptions, actually. So that's quite respectable. And I will showcase this combo later on. But yeah, now we're going to be sending the Necro Slime with the effect of King's Tail. And we're going to be scaling the Ragnarok as well as the Orthros. And now we're going to be special summoning the Griffin. This is going to be like the, I believe, the 6th summon. So if your opponent wants to Nibiru you, he has to do it here, because now we can negate Nibiru with the effect of Sky King, Zeus, and Ragnarok. Fun fact, this only negates a monster effect in the hand, so it's pretty much only designed to negate Nibiru, which is unfortunate because against Yummy it's not a real interruption, but whatever. Necro Slime, banish, whatever, and then summon your Genghis. Kind of recommend keeping like maybe Land Soldier or like King's Tail in the graveyard. These cards can come up later on, but whatever. Summon your Genghis, and then Ragnarok can revive back the King's Tail, and then Genghis is going to be reviving back the Land Soldier at this point. And then Orthros, this is where it gets really weird. You want to destroy the King's Tail as well as Orthros itself. And then what that will do is that it'll trigger the King's Tail, and it'll trigger the Machinex so it can come back. And you're going to be sending the DD Griffin, so it's relevant that you send it, because reviving back this card from the graveyard allows you to search a DD card. So then again, if this is post game 1, you can search DDD Headhunt, or else you can just search a card that can be like a discard fodder for like its other effect when you Pendulum Summon it, so that you can discard it and then draw 1 card. So this combo also draws a card in the process. And the fact that we're summoning the Machinex here is also very relevant, because now we can destroy it with the Zeus King Ragnarok, and when it dies, you can skill it. And what we achieved here, it's not like silly and useless. We replaced Orthros on the scale and Machinex like from the extra deck with each other. So now instead of having a monster that we can't Pendulum Summon and a card that we want to Pendulum Summon, we have everything we want. So now we can start Pendulum Summoning the Orthros, which again is a level 4 tuner, so we can make Siegfried with it. So yeah, we're going to be conducting our first Pendulum Summon, because Zeus King Ragnarok allows us to conduct a second Pendulum Summon since we destroyed the Machinex. So we're going to be summoning the Orthros as well as the Griffin. No need to summon anything else. And then Synchro Summon using the Griffin and the Land Soldier for the Clovis. Clovis is going to be summoning back the Griffin from the graveyard, and Griffin is going to be searching for anything that can be a discard fodder, doesn't matter. Overlay for Caesar, and then Synchro Summon for Siegfried, and then Pendulum Summon for 3 monsters, so all of your level 4s. Griffin can discard whatever you search, draw 1 card, and then Overlay for the Caesar, and then link off for a second Gilgamesh, and since Caesar was sent from the field to the grave, we can search a Dark Contract card from deck to hand, so that can be the Dark Contract with the Eternal Darkness, and the Gilgamesh in the Monster Zone can be evolved into Machinex, which can steal, I believe, 2 monsters. So that's actually quite nice, because we can destroy the Zero King and then steal a monster, and then we can use the effect again, steal another monster. And there might be a world in which you can do this again, if you have like another Dark Contract card that can be pretty broken. So yeah, not too bad. We can get a lot of disruptions here, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 7 disruptions with the Machinex in the extra deck if this dies. So I'll absolutely take it. And also your follow play is pretty good. Okay, so combo number 2, this is just like if you draw like 2 extenders, so like Scale Surveyor as well as Griffin, it is the exact same thing. I just wanted to prove it. So we can normal summon the Griffin. It's better to normal summon Griffin now than it is to normal summon the Scale Surveyor, make it level 4, and then special summon the Griffin. Just because like we want to special summon this preferably later on. But yeah, overlay for the Solomon. Of course, this becomes level 4 when it's summoned from the hand. And then, summon overall. And then, yeah, we're going to be searching for the Machinex and then scale that. And then we're going to be placing the Dark Contract with the Zero Gate. And then, yeah, summon your Mark's Tail. And then summon the Kepler from the deck by destroying the the Zero Machinex. And then, yeah, so Kepler search the Dark Contract with the Gate, which is going to be searching for another Griffin. And then link off into the Gilgamesh. That's the reason why, you know, we're trying to like search this here. We want to have like 2 Griffins in rotation. It's a better card to like Pendulum Summon because it's a level 4 monster. But yeah, the King's Tail is going to be sending the Necro Slime again, scale the exact same thing. So this looks like the exact same combo as before, and the reason for that is because it pretty much is the same combo. There's virtually no difference. It's just that the sequencing is a little different because we're getting like some summons a little earlier. So you can kind of argue it's a better thing, but it's actually a worse thing because it takes us way longer to get the Dark Contract with the Gate in the graveyard. So if your opponent has Nibiru, he would have to, he could like wait for the Nibiru for much longer, because for you to be able to negate a monster effect, you do have to banish a DD monster and a Dark Contract card with a graveyard. And this is the first step where we finally have a Dark Contract card with a grave. So this 2-card combo is significantly worse into Nibiru, unfortunately. Maybe like there might be a better way to play it, but if you have an idea, please let me know in the comments. But yeah, now we go for Clovis, revive back whatever from the banished. It's better to get like a Necro Slime so that your follow-up play can summon the Hiking Genghis, which is very good into like getting you crazy follow-up. But yeah, overlay for the Caesar, and then Pendulum Summon your 3 level 4s from the extra deck. Griffin gets a draw, and then we Synchro Summon using Orthros and Griffin for the Siegfried, and then Pendulum Summon again, make the Caesar, and then link off for Gilgamesh, and then trigger the Caesar to Surge Dark Contract with the Eternal Darkness, and then make Machinex again. So this is literally the exact same board as combo number 1, it's just that it's a little worse into Nibiru, unfortunately. Last but definitely not least, let's just assume that the opponent has an Imperm but doesn't use it on the Kepler, because there's way too many ways to punish your opponent, so that usually it doesn't really make too much sense to like Imperm a card like Stratos, right? You want to Imperm something that you know for a fact your opponent, there's no other way for you to like be able to like play through it for the most part, or at least like you would need a lot of other cards. Because if I get Impermed on Kepler and I hard drew Dark Construct with the Gate, you quite literally went neg 1. Whereas if you hold your Imperm for Gilgamesh, then I need a lot of cards to be able to play around it. So yeah, we're going to be going under the assumption that the opponent is playing around it, and this is the clever thing to do, like I said. So the earlier combo is like the exact same. Again, there's a world in which he Imperms the Solomon, which is very stupid, because then Gilgamesh goes through and all we really lost is Griffin. So our combo is pretty much going to be the same thing, so that's also wrong. And yeah, this is the first step where we can get Impermed, so Chainlink 1, Chainlink 2, we get Impermed here, that's completely fine. And then we're still going to be dumping the Necro Slime. We have like no Pendulum Scales, but we can still do a little bit of plays. So yeah, summon the Genghis, we can banish the Solomon, and also like if it destroys a monster by battle, it inflicts damage, which is kind of irrelevant, but it is pretty cute. But yeah, obviously special summon your Griffin, trigger the Genghis, revive back the Land Soldier, and then Synchro Summon for the Clovis, revive back the Solomon, and then overlay for Caesar and make the Machinex here. So actually, that's 4 disruptions. Machinex can steal 2 monsters, and Caesar can negate 2 spell, trap, or monster effects that include an effect to special summon a monster. This is quite respectable, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this combo video and deck profile. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And let me know your thoughts about DD in the comment section below. Do you think it's a good deck? Do you think it's underrated? I want to hear your thoughts, and I'll see you guys very soon. Peace.